an aura, which sounds pretty narrow, but a lot of your cards are dead. Narrow's fine.
Yeah, narrow is perfectly fine. The rest of the cards don't line up all that great, unfortunately.
I don't hate Pillar Flame.
I don't hate Pillar Flame, but I don't love it either.
Well, Pillar answers Voice of Resurgence, which, okay, Woodrow plays them.
Yeah, he plays one.
He plays one. Yep. Maybe he'll cast it, and you can Pillar it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love it. Yeah, I don't love it. It's probably better than like a Dreadboard type card, but you know, maybe you bring it in. It is just, yeah, I'm reaching here. It is a little bit
So when you're
of reach.
reaching for things, you have to think, okay, what are the cards in Venable's deck that actually do nothing? And I'm looking at that, I would say, okay, Olivia Voldaren seems terrible. Everything has hexproof. Maybe not terrible. Maybe you keep it in. Like it can shoot some things.
Yeah, but
right?
it's not the all-star like it is most of the time against creature decks.
Guruk Primal Hunter seems really bad. Putrefy, like probably not.
Expensive.
Too expensive. Ground Seal. I guess if you want to cycle a card, that's fine. Rakdos' Return, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So there's a fair number of things that he would like to side out. So I think we see all the cards I mentioned before coming in, maybe even a couple more.
I mean, I could even see something as like innocuous as Bloodgift Demon like coming in just because it's a
Sure.
flyer.
You know, like when you compare Olivia Voldaren and Bloodgift Demon, which one would you rather be casting if you're Michael Venable?
I think I'm probably with Bloodgift Demon. Like I think I just want like Olivia's and the Bloodgift Demon. Like I want flyers for Spectral Flights on creatures that aren't hexproof.
Right, I want
so
to
I can block.
To block Spectral Flighted creatures. I don't care about Olivia's activated ability. Bloodgift Demon's activated ability seems better. I mean, obviously, if everything's going to plan for Bogucki, neither of those are cards because the game's over.
That's correct. That's correct. So we'll see how it's going to break. As far as Bogucki's side, I mean, you look at his sideboard, not a ton that's going to come in there. I mean, maybe Strangleroot guys, maybe.
I would say, what about Sigarda, Host of Herons?
See, I don't like that card in the sideboard because it's so expensive. You don't want the game to go long. Like, yes,
Right.
It's this giant threat, but you don't want to play, 7 turns. You want to play 5 turns.
So the interesting thing is I'm not sure that card even fits with the Bant hexproof strategy, but Bogucki clearly thinks it does. He puts some in his sideboard, and so if you you'd put it in your sideboard because you kind of would have it be a backup plan, right?
Yeah.
They've answered your things. So maybe if they answer you, maybe you play Geist, you put a couple auras on it, and they actually manage to answer it, right? At this point, you just are looking for another target to throw some auras onto. Well, if you have time, why not have that target be Sigarda? I mean, she's actually unanswerable, right? Liliana can't make her sacrifice. She, if you start putting things on Sigarda, like Venable actually doesn't have any answers to a Sigarda.
Yeah, there's like nothing clean.
Sigarda with, it's like, yeah, we could double block it with a Bloodgift Demon and an Olivia, provided the Olivia has shot a couple things. And it's like, you're talking about lines like that, which are miserable. So maybe he boards in a couple of them. John can't answer it. It's a fine backup plan.
It's worth a shot. Again, we take a look at Woodrow's main deck, and I guess some of the cards that he can cut maybe for those Sigardas, because I think he wants to keep it a streamlined package. It's like the one Simic Charm and like maybe like a Fencing Ace or two, because you don't want to turn on that removal.
Right. I mean, Fencing Ace is a card which you have to think that Jund is actually going to be able to answer pretty cleanly. Yeah. I mean, Jund will be boarding in all its Abrupt Decays, right? Or no, sorry, not boarding in, but it has Abrupt Decays in the main.
Yeah.
And you really don't, like, if you have a Fencing Ace, do you really want that to be the guy you're throwing auras on?
Not at all. Not even close.
Like, if you have a Fencing Ace and auras and no other creature, are you even throwing? Are you going to throw all your auras on Fencing Ace, or are you be like, no, I got to draw someone else?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're at the point where you say, I'm going to have to draw someone else,
get Fencing Ace out of your deck.
And get Fencing Ace out of your deck. If you're not willing to throw auras on it, don't play it.
All right, we're taking a look at our starting 7s here.
Bogucki looks like he's keeping, and Venable is not.
It doesn't surprise me to see the Jund deck taking a mulligan or two in this matchup either, because it's just looking for certain cards.
Well, I mean, when you have a card like a Liliana, I mean, that card's going to be a 3-for-1 when you play it.
Yeah.
It's going to get a creature, it's going to get all the auras on the creature, and the only aura that's not, if those are all rankers, I guess it's a 1-for-1, but if they're all rankers, you probably don't care as much.
Don't mind one bit, I don't think.
The cards you're really scared about are the Unflinching Courages, the Spectral Flights, and the Ethereal Armors.
So down to 6, Venable is going to go. If you guys are just joining us, we do appreciate you joining us this evening. Cedric Phillips, Matthias on here. We've made it, but we're going to be leaving it soon to Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah.
At SCG Live, hashtag SCGDAL for your tweets. Don't forget about the premium giveaways. We'll be announcing the winner of the 3-month premium giveaway after this game.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, it does feel like a little while. But don't forget, 6 months and 12 months in the semifinals and finals respectively. So stay with us as we do crown another Standard Open champion this weekend.
All right. Shuffling decks, still going to get on, so looking for 6 cards for Venable. One of the questions is, how fast of a hand does Venable need in this matchup? Clearly there are a couple of cards he really needs, right? He really would like to have, Nighthawk's good because it trades with almost everything, and obviously nothing trades with Invisible Stalker.
Yep.
Liliana's really good. It's interesting. I almost feel like we've had this running joke where, you know, the God Draw of John does the turn 2 Farseek. I don't know if that's actually true in this matchup.
Yeah, we don't know if the God Draw's good here.
I don't know if the God Draw's any good. You know, you don't need to ramp into Liliana.
Yeah, not this time. Well, if the God Draw's no good, what is good?
What is good?
And we'll taking a look. Does not look happy.
I mean, so here's the question, which I would think. So say you see lands and spells, but you see, like, you know, some lands, lands and not the money spells. Do you have to keep at this point, or do you get so, you know, if I gave you 3 lands, 3 spells on a mull to 6, but your spells were, say, something like Thrag Tusk, Bonfire, and Hunt Master. It's like, can you keep any more?
Send it back.
Okay.
You need the interaction. Like, you can't. Hope is not a strategy.
It's like Bogucki kept to 7. Okay, be ready.
Yeah. I mean, hope is not a strategy. What are you hoping for? I mean, you can take 1 less card and just get a better mulligan.
Right.
That's all. At least you can control that.
Bogucki has the turn 1 Arboreal, or Avacyn's Pilgrim, and that's going to provide him some insurance policy against a potential Liliana.
So now we're building an Invisible Stalker. Avacyn's Pilgrim is going to allow him to cast Invisible Stalker plus a Rancor.
Of note, so there is the Liliana in Venable's hand. I believe he also has the Bonfire. As long as Bogucki does not play a Spectral Flight, or an Unflinching Courage, or an Ethereal Armor, ...
Yeah.
Then this Bonfire could be pretty good.
Yep.
All right, how all in are we? How many auras are we going to throw onto this Invisible Stalker?
How many pairs of pants have you bought from Old Navy?
Remember,
Show them.
Venable does have the Liliana, so if he goes end step kill spell, untap Liliana, he can, you know, that's the game.
Yep. I think we're going to see our first pair of pants.
You know, the hexproof deck, you know, oftentimes is derided as, you know, it plays itself, it doesn't have many decisions. It's interesting. I don't think there are many decisions you make while playing it, but each decision you make is huge. You know, it's like, you have this turn matters. Which spell do you play? What order do you cast them? Where do you target them? And that will decide whether you win or lose. So we get
Spectral Flight.
Okay, Bonfire no longer an answer to the Invisible Stalker. It's going to have to be Liliana. We see a fist pump there by Woodrow Bogucki.
I think the card that he was probably scared of was the Golgari Charm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, that would have been. Okay, so he
Would've
pumps.
been
There's no
nuts.
Golgari Charm. Sweet.
Is he going to suit up even further? That's the question. And once the Spectral Flight resolves, I don't think there's any reason to not suit up any further. Because, again, you're an all-in deck. You just have to get the game over as fast as you can, shorten the number of draws that your opponent can have. That's the point of your deck.
I mean, he'd be worried about removal spell into Liliana. You know, Breptic into Liliana will get him. But, you know what? Sometimes you just can't afford to play around things. Swing for 7.
So here's another Spectral Flight and attack you for 7.
Yeah. Confirmed, the fist pump was over Golgari Charm.
Is that another copy of Liliana of the Veil? That is another copy.
We could see a Bonfire for 1 here, and that's what's going to happen. Bonfire for 1. He does have the Liliana next turn. He does not have the double black.
Yeah, so he needs to peel the double black very, very badly.
It's all about, can he get a black source? Can Bogucki play another creature here? If so, he's going to take all the outs away from Venable.
What is this?
And Geist Saint Trap. That should get all the outs away.
Really good another creature, too. So that should end it. I mean, if the black source is here, which it's not, it's
the black source is, it's been Farseek.
It's a slow,
right on time.
It's a slow black source.
Yeah. Now, if only the Farseek was on turn 2. No.
Yeah. And I mean, this is what this matchup looks like. This is why people play the Ban Hexproof deck, because
sometimes you just win.
Yeah, you just knock over a deck like Jund, where you force a deck like Jund that has no card drawing and no card selection to actually perfect you. Is it going to show 2 Lilianas, a bunch of cards, no black sources, and that creature in the way? So Woodrow Bogucki is moving on to our semifinals, my friends. Bat Hexproof going up against, oh boy.
It's going to be Jund again.
It's going to be Jund again.
Yeah.
Oh boy. This is a good side of the bracket for Woodrow to be on.
Yeah, now, foreshadowing, if he gets through all his good matchups, he's going to face a terrible matchup in the finals, no matter who wins it.
It's either red-green aggro or Niagara.
Neither of those are any good for him. I mean, I guess the Naya one's a little bit better, but red